live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Loungetime. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and yes, I know, I'm late to the party. I literally am recording this right before the 1 p.m. games start, so I don't know any inactives. I gotta go through the inactive list when we go through picks, but I had to get some breakfast for this show because I've been doing some stuff for college and I'm trying to manage, bro. But we're still gonna pull out the grind and give you guys the content you're waiting on. We're gonna go over week 3. I know it's a week later, but we're still going to go over week 3. I promise we'll go by fast because there's not a lot of games I want to really talk about. And then we'll get to the week 4 picks. All right? I'll make sure I try to get those picks in early. So, all right. Here's how we're going to do this, right? We're going to start off with a game that I feel like we need to talk about, even though the final score says otherwise. And that's the Texans-Vikings. It was a battle of 2-0 teams. And honestly, bro, I didn't watch this game because I was kind of going back and forth between Chargers, Steelers, Eagles, Saints. Yes, we'll be talking about those games in a moment. All right. But let's start off with the Minnesota Vikings. Bro, Sam Darnold, my God, he looks like a new guy. And I can't believe it's been 7 years he's been in the league already. I remember when he got drafted by the Jets and everybody was like, oohing and ahhing about him, right? And, dude, he looks good with, like, Addison, Jay Jetta. But Kevin O'Connell, man, as a play caller, I mean, he's doing a damn good job as a coach, man. I mean, came from the Sean McVay tree, played with New England for a brief stint before he went to the Jets and all that with his career. So, like, the man knows what he's doing with quarterbacks, and he's been in good football environments in the league. So, 17-28 for 181, not 281. 17-28 for 181, 4 touchdowns, dude. The only concern with Minnesota, the offensive line gave up 4 sacks. Other than that, dude, they look really, really good, bro. Like, really, really good. Aaron Jones had over 100 yards, 19 carries, 19 for 102 yards, okay? And then Justin Jefferson, 6 for 81 on the score. Aaron Jones even caught a receiving touchdown, okay? And then Jalen Naylor, right? You got Brandon Powell. You got Trent Sherfield from San Francisco, right? And Johnny Munt. Like, these guys, like Josh Oliver, too. Like, they got pretty decent receivers that are getting it done. But Jordan Addison was banged up, right? Dude, they look pretty damn good right now, right? And how about this, right? The former Texan getting back at his team. Jonathan Grenard with 3 sacks on C.J. Stroud. And then Van Ginkel, who's been one of the underrated pass rushers in football that isn't quite getting as much attention, but honestly should be. Brian Flores, man, I know he's got a lot of backlash from how he treated Tua in Miami. I honestly, I figured it was from the New England tree. They carry some of the same methods, ideologies. We get all that, right? The man's going to be a head coach, dude. The man's going to be a head coach. So where he wants to go, I mean, obviously he's got to go into a better situation. But, like, dude, he's got a great scheme that's working, man, these first 3 weeks. I mean, you beat San Francisco and Houston, 2 teams that people had going far as deep playoff teams. And he's kind of held them to a combined 24 points. That's not an accident, dude. That's not an accident. I mean, this guy is a damn good defensive coordinator, okay? They had 2 picks. They had 5 sacks. I mean, bro, the Vikings right now, they got in Green Bay today. That's not going to be easy with Jordan Love back. That I do know because that was last night I heard that stuff. That's going to be interesting. Now for the Texans, right? I don't want to make too big of a deal with the loss because, A, it's early. It doesn't look good, yes, but, like, The old saying is you'd rather have a loss early in the middle of the year to like late in the year, right? It's game 3. Everybody has a bad game in the season where you go, what happened that game? And it was that way with the Texans, man. Like, they just couldn't really protect Stroud, right? And their running game couldn't have success. And Stephon Diggs had 10 for 94. Of course, he's crying for the ball. Nico Collins, 4 for 86. Tank Dell finally had a decent game, 5 for 62, but he's out today. That sucks. Cam Akers obviously scored a touchdown, right? So they just really couldn't get a lot going. And honestly, that kind of stuff, that shit happens, right? Their front actually got 4 sacks, the Texans, right? Tim Settle Jr. had 2 sacks. Derek Barnett and Will Anderson, they had a sack each, right? So, I mean, again, they're not bad. Like, they have good front 7 guys, but again, it happens, right? Where they just couldn't. They got pressure, but they gave up a lot of points. They got pressure that Stroud was not able to handle this game. Flores obviously being a great coordinator is a part of it. And then just they couldn't run the ball, right? So it's a bad game. I'm not going to overreact too much about it because, everybody has that one, stinker as they call it, right? Guys, sorry, I don't have notes, so I'm literally just winging through this. I usually would have notes, but today, with the way the schedule has worked for me, I have not made notes. Texans were 4-14 on third down. That's actually really not that good at all, so they couldn't even do that well. Minnesota was just under 50%. That's going to work, man, if they could do that. Texans, 11 penalties, though, and 2 turnovers. That's got to get cleaned up, and I'm confident, though, that they can clean it up. Minnesota, 5 penalties, 4 or 5 in the red zone. 5 penalties is not really great, but 4 or 5 in the red zone, that will win you games, man. So far, they look really, really good, and you got to give, O'Connell a lot of credit. He might be definitely a top 10 play caller, 5 head coach maybe. I don't know. I have 4 that I was telling my dad last night that I know are like the really like great coaches. O'Connell might be 5. It depends who you have in front of him. I know the 4 I have ahead of him. I can't really go through it right now. Actually, Reed, Mike Tomlin, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Kyle Shanahan, and then Sean McVay. Those are my 4 I would put ahead of O'Connell. And then, if I'm missing a name, let me know in the comments. Let me go to the Chargers Steelers. Joel is out, I know, today against Kansas City. That's a huge loss because I thought he would have did a great job on Chris Jones today. But, of course, the bandwagons get lucky. But let's talk about the game, right? Herbert got hurt with an ankle injury. Heineke went in there, right? But the Chargers, they had the one drive early with Quentin Johnson that was working and then just completely fell apart because Pittsburgh's defense is just that damn good, right? They couldn't really run the ball well with Dobbins, right? Johnson had the 1 touchdown. McConkey had 3 for 44. They really couldn't get a lot going in the passing game. Like, Pittsburgh's defense is legit. We're going to get to them in a minute, right? But their defense, right? Derwin James, Khalil Mack, they had a sack, right? So, they did what, their defense held them to 20. Their offense just came up flat. And that's really what happened. But again, when you play 2 back-to-back games on the East Coast, one of those games you kind of figure might be a letdown. And, Herbert being out, that changes the whole game, right? And nothing against Heineke. We know he's good. But we're starting to see, okay, like he's that, average backup quarterback that, hey, if he does a great game, you tip your cap to him and, you do well. But that's that with him, right? For the Steelers, okay, we got a lot to talk with them, dude, okay? Forgive me, guys. I need to, munch on my egg burrito that I have. Cheese, ketchup, and then, yes, eggs. But we have to go over how well this team's playing right now, okay? Now, offensively, I get it. They're not playing great, but they're getting the job done, okay? Justin Fields, to this point, has played his best game as a Pittsburgh Steeler. 25-32, 245 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He looked really good. And he ran into touchdown. And obviously he started because Russell Wilson got hurt. So that's got to matter, right? But when you got to look at, how good he's looked in that offense, he should be starting until he just looks absolutely bad, right? And I know people are like, well, Tomlin plays the veteran Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should start. Fields is the future. Yeah, but after looking at a game like this, dude, Fields probably cemented himself as a starter. Dude, I can't even get over it. They gave up a 6th-round pick for him. That could be a 4th. If I'm right on that. Let me know if I'm factually right on that. But, dude, steal the offseason. Steal the offseason, hands down. I mean, this was a game he looked really, really good against, man. I mean, he threw the big play to Austin. That was huge. I mean, again, these young receivers, I have question marks. Calvin Austin, who could be a big play guy. Scotty Miller, George Pickens, Cordero Patterson. These guys are good. But can you trust them to win games? I don't know. But Mike Tomlin, man, 3-0 with this team. Dude. And we thought this might be his first losing season. Mike Tomlin's making us eat all that criticism, right? And let me tell you something. This defense, bro. Oh, my God. 5 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. And TJ Watt had that one move on Joe Alt that had his welcome to the NFL moment. Joe Alt, no shame in that. That dude is one of the best defensive players in football right now, if not the best, depending on who you ask. No shame in getting beat by TJ Watt. No shame in that, okay? 5 sacks. Nick Herbig had 2 sacks. Cameron Hayward, Landon Roberts. I mean, this defense, man, they are absolutely legit. I mean, they actually need to play well in this early stretch because the late stretch is all AFC North opponents. And if we look at Cleveland and Cincinnati right now, they're not looking really that great. Okay? Now, Baltimore always plays them tough. So we know those games are going to be really, really close. It's really how they're going to look against them. But you can't rule out Cincy and Cleveland yet because you never know if they could catch fire at any point. But right now, Pittsburgh's late schedule is brutal. But they have to win their early part of the games. And I think the Colts, who they're going to play literally in a few minutes, that's going to be a game where, you know, they should have their way, okay? But let's go to the numbers for the team stats. Guys, forgive me if I'm flying by. I'm just trying to get this out because the 1 p.m. games are about to start soon, and I know you guys are waiting to hear inactives and stuff. Totally get it. Chargers 3 of 11 on 3rd down. That's not going to win you games. Pittsburgh 7 of 14. That's going to work. 1 of 4 in the red zone. The Steelers, that's one thing you got to work on. Chargers 0 of 1, 7 penalties. That's not like a Jim Harbaugh team. And, yeah, Pittsburgh turned it over once, but, again, the Steelers didn't play really their greatest game. But this team, they're going to be fine. Just give them a little bit. Fields is doing good in that offense. I just wish they would have a way to get that offense to look a little bit more in sync. But, again, that's what happens when nobody plays preseason. But Justin Fields did play, so it doesn't apply really to them. But he's just got to get used to that new system, new offense. And he really likes being there, so that's really a plus as well. Let's go to the Eagles-Saints. I have a lot to say on this game. I was texting a friend of mine about this game. I even tweeted at him about this game. And we just got him as a Loungetime fan, along with my sports director. Happy for you guys to join the Loungetime family. And I hope you guys really, really will like this. This is basically my version of my show. And yes, I made this before I went to Riders, so this is who I am, basically, okay? Eagles-Saints. All right, first things first, dude, right? I got to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I had a piece of kibasi just now because I'm eating breakfast while I'm doing this. Don't judge me. I love eating food when I sometimes do this. Look back at some of the other ones, okay? I got to address this, man. Because this shit is fucking driving me absolutely insane. And we're not talking about this enough. And we need to. Is Nick Sirianni trying to get his ass fired? I legitimately asked my friend that's an Eagles fan. This dude, is he trying to get fired? Because that's what I feel like he is right now. He is so over his fucking head. He's literally riding on one Super Bowl win that was mostly the same roster that Howie Roseman built for Doug Peterson in his last season in 2020. And literally the only difference in that team was maybe a few veterans. A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick wasn't there. A couple of other guys like Gardner Johnson, I think that was his first year in Philly, right? I think they got Darius Slay before Peterson got fired. I think they did, or it was the year after, or it was the first year of Sirianni, I think. Eagles fans will probably fact check me on that, especially one of them that just joined the show. But for the most part, that team, the core players were still there from that 2017 Super Bowl win. Okay? And you're literally judging off of him, and you're literally hanging your head off one fucking run that you've done well. Yet, you were the reason your team collapsed in the final 6 games of the season. Might add, they were 10-1, right? They went 11-6? Yeah. So you're the reason your team collapsed in 6 of those games. Okay? And this year, you could argue, and I'm going to say this, you could argue this team should be 3-0, but the Atlanta game he cost them, and he almost cost them this game because he's so built in fucking analytics and taking he's like, no, I'm not going to take the field goal. I'm going to go for it like an idiot. Bro, you are literally the biggest fucking hothead in the league, and you've done you're literally costing your team games. Like, oh, a win's a win. Yes, I know. But this dude clearly is so fucking over his head. Jeffrey Lurie's got to start thinking, if we don't make it to the divisional round, am I going to move on from him? Because he's not really the guy that I think could take them where they need to go. This is too talented of a team to be this shaky. But he cost him the Atlanta game, and he almost cost him New Orleans, if not for a big play by Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. Let's be real. Okay? Now, Jalen Hurts, 29-38, 311 yards, and a pick. He was all right. He did, have Goddard to help bail him out. 10 catches for 170 yards. Saquon Barkley is literally the fucking saving grace for this team. 17 for 147 and 2 touchdowns. This guy has been the reason the Eagles offense goes. Okay? Now, Rich, Jalen Hurts took him to the Super Bowl. Yeah. How did he look against New Orleans outside of the Goddard big plays? How did he look? Let's be real. He looked pretty all right. Okay? Now, Devontae was out with a concussion. Second half of that game, I know. 7 for 79. Okay? But Kellen Moore, now he's got the play calling duties. Eagles fans, beware. If they don't run Saquon Barkley, remember this. He did it in Dallas where he just stopped running Zeke. Now, I don't know if it's because they didn't have confidence in Zeke on the end. That could be a part of it too. But he gets pass happy. Now, when A.J. Brown and Devontae get back, okay. You got me there, okay? But until they do, you got to let Saquon Barkley carry the rock. This man, why were they so good 2 years ago? They ran the ball. Kellen Moore, Nick Sirianni, go back to what you did well. Although Kellen Moore wasn't on that team, but Kellen Moore needs to learn how to run anyway. So that's why it's applying to both of them, okay? The defense, though, looked a lot better, okay? They looked a lot better, right? Although, I'm looking at this and I'm going, yeah, they got the game-winning pick by Reed Blankenship, but 1 sack from Jordan Davis? You're telling me Nolan Smith? You're telling me Jalen Carter, Brandon Graham, who's a veteran, but he's still good. And I said Nolan Smith. Jordan Davis. You're telling me you only got 1 sack on the Saints? Now, maybe New Orleans' offensive line's pretty damn good, but I mean, damn. They looked mediocre. All right, up front. Now, their pass rush is good on most nights. But 1 sack against New Orleans, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, okay? But they found a way to pull away late, and again, they just find a way to win sloppy games. And I guess that's good early in the year, but let me tell you, you play a sloppy game on the worst night of the year, you're out. You're out, man. Okay? You will be gone from the playoffs if you play a sloppy game like that. They got to clean some shit up, though. All right? Now let's go to the Saints, dude. All right? So, again, let's go to the Saints. Because I told everybody, this is not keeping up this long. If you remember, too, I said If they were doing this for 6 games, it's a conversation. But what did I tell you before? Derek Carr was going to go fall flat back to earth and be average. And that's exactly what happened. Okay? And, people are like, oh, well, Rich, you just hate Derek Carr because your uncle was right about the Raiders the first year of Loungetime. No. We know what he is. He's a good quarterback, but he's also plays below average in games. 14 to 25 for 142, a touchdown and a pick. I mean, the man played all right. Kamara ran the ball pretty decent, 26 for 87. Okay? Olave had the go-ahead touchdown late in the 4th. I think it was about 2 minutes ago in the game. Yeah, about 2 minutes ago in the game. Okay? So he had the big day. Their defense balled out. I mean, dude, Carl Granderson in the second half. I mean, Brian Brees at 2 sacks. They whooped that Eagles offensive line. And you held the Eagles to 15. I'm sitting there going, Derek Carr, you get the ball back. You got a big game on your hands, bro. This is your time to go win it. You want to prove that you're legit? Go beat this damn team. Nope, you throw a pick. Falls flat back on earth. But again, I told you this was not going to happen. I didn't overreact too much because, again, we're going to go to the Cowboys in a minute because, boy, I got a lot of shit to say about them because, let me tell you, man, my cousin, Frankie, Nikki, you are not going to like what I'm going to say. Uncle Al, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Now, my old man, I wish he watches the show. He doesn't, okay? He won't like what I'm about to say either. But that's besides the point. Bottom line is that this team, the Saints, I knew this was going to happen. Honey Badger had a pick too, right? I mean, dude, the Saints are fucking fraudulent, bro. Okay? They play Atlanta today. They should beat Atlanta. But when they play Tampa, you damn sure better think I'm taking Tampa because I trust them. Now, they pissed me off because they lost me Survivor, but we're going to get to them in a little moment. I want to talk about the big games, though, because we have to talk about these. Eagles 6 of 14 on 3rd down, 1 of 3 on 4th down. Sirianni kicked the fucking field goals. If you're there, because you cost the Atlanta game, you almost blew this one. You're taking points off the board. Gut feeling is the only time you go for it, really, if you feel it's slipping away. But this game wasn't slipping away. You just fucking decided to be reckless with your damn team. New Orleans 6 of 13 on 3rd down. That's actually under 50%. But honestly, if you're just under 50%, that's not bad. Usually 40 or better, you can work with. Both teams 1 of 3 in the red zone. They both need to clean up that. 7 penalties. Oh, go figure. I wonder who that's become. 2 turnovers. Yeah, we know who that's from. Sirianni. Okay? So fucking done with him, dude. So over his head. I wouldn't be shocked, guys, if he gets fired by the end of the year. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets fired. Really wouldn't be. He's literally trying to lose games, I feel like. That's how bad this team is as far as what they should be. Now again, when I say bad, they're not performing to the expectations that we set for them in the preseason. Okay? They're too talented of a roster. They're too good of a roster to be this shaky. This team should be 3-0. But they're not. Why? Because of the coaching. That's where we're at. Jeffrey Lurie, you got a big decision to make, dude. Straight up. Oh, man. No, we're not getting to them. They're later. I have my own issues with them. Fucking Tampa against Denver. I should have known when I went on the Sports Yammerer, my guy, Matt Brown, who just got him to be a Loungetime subscriber, should have known he was going to fucking put the hex on Tampa. And right when I was thinking, who am I going to take for Survivor Pool? It was Cleveland, and it was Tampa. Both lost. So I would have gone wrong either way. But how do you lose 26-7 to fucking Tampa? You know the only explanation I got is Sean Payton knew them fucking good and well when he was in New Orleans. That's the only reason I have to explain this. Bo Nix, 25 of 36 for 216 yards. Didn't even throw a touchdown pass. He ran one in. Okay? And what is he, like 25 as a rookie? Jaleel McLaughlin. Sorry if I botched your name. 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, Cortland Sutton was literally the only guy that had something going for them. Okay, little Jordan Humphrey. I mean, he had 6 catches, but like, dude, fucking kidding me, man. You get lit up by Denver. I was so pissed when I seen this. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. What the fuck is wrong with Tampa? My survivor pool. Now I'm out in both in the record weeks. 3 weeks. Back-to-back weeks. Thank you, Ravens, and thank you, Tampa, for ruining my survivor pools. Good job. I'm out. Now the only thing I gotta fucking hope is the Chief bandwagons don't win a Super Bowl again. Alright? Because I had it with them, too. That's my only thing I need to root for. And don't even get me started on New England. I know we're getting crushed by the Niners. But I gotta wear my gear because shit, I'm gonna only wear it for a little bit before we suck. Alright? So, don't judge New England gear that I'm wearing today because I need to wear it to make me happy. Okay? Here's what is mind-boggling when I'm looking through this. 7 sacks they had on fucking Tampa's line. 7 fucking sacks, dude. Are you kidding me? 7? I mean, Dondre Tillman, Jonathan Cooper. Are you sure not thinking the offensive lineman Jonathan Cooper? That's the only Jonathan Cooper I know of. That was a bust for the Cardinals that we traded for him in the Chandler Jones trade. Guy did shit for us. That's the only Jonathan Cooper I know. Zach Allen. All right. John Franklin Myers, who was good for the Jets. All right. Devin Key. Who the fuck are these dudes? Who the fuck are these dudes? Like, bro, how the fuck you lose this game? Brandon Jones had a pick and a fumble recovery. All right. Tampa. Baker Mayfield, 25 of 33, 163 yards, a touchdown, a pick. Bucky Irving ran the ball pretty good. I don't know why they didn't run more. Chris Godwin had a touchdown. Kade Otten had 7 catches. Like, Tampa. Please tell me, what the fuck happened, bro? Okay? Oh, I have an idea why. Baker Mayfield, remember the comments you made about Tom Brady and how the energy's different with you? Remember that? Oh, he made Tom Brady, he made them uptight. Now we're loose. How'd that work out for you, Baker? How'd that work out for you? Not great. What did it get Tampa? Brady got Tampa a championship. What have you done? Won 1 playoff game. And they go, oh yeah, we got a different vibe. You lost to fucking Denver. One of the worst teams in the NFL. At home. When his ego's up, man, he's just nauseating. When he's in check, he plays great. Just shut the fuck up until you win a fucking championship. Then you make comments like this shit. You win one playoff game and you want to fucking talk like you did shit. Yes, you're reviving your career. We're happy for you. But here we go again with the fucking antics that got him fucking annoyed by people when he was in Cleveland. The best Baker Mayfield is when he plays himself in fucking check. That's when he's at his best. When he's in check. But when he fucking gets his hot headed up like a balloon, oh no, we can't stand him anymore. That's what drives me fucking insane. God, man. 3 of 11 on 3rd down. 0 of 2 on 4th down. Yeah, you couldn't do shit offensively. Okay, couldn't even stop Bo Nix on defense either. Denver was 4-13, my guy. That's not even that good either. Both teams 50% in the red zone. Had 5 penalties each. Tampa, you turned it over twice. Todd Bowles is a great coordinator. I'm a little shaky with him as a head coach. That's where I stand on him. But Tampa, I should have known combined with the sports yammer hex. Thanks, Matt. But, jokingly. Yeah, they ruined my survivor pool. Fucking Tampa and the Ravens. I'm out in week 3. Absolutely painful. All right, Ravens-Cowboys. First, I need to know where my fucking family members that are Cowboy fans watching the show are at right now. Because I know what I picked. I know why. Okay? There needs to be some serious fucking soul searching with the Cowboys. Oh, but they beat the Giants, Rich. I know, I'm going to briefly talk about that game. All right, but you beat the Giants and Browns. Arguably, two people think are the worst teams in football. Are you really going to brag about beating the Browns and Giants, dude? On the road? You couldn't even win a fucking home game. You know who you play after? Oh, I know. Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh. And you're going to be without DeMarcus Lawrence that game. Micah might be out that game. But let's talk about this Cowboy-Raven game. Because, listen, man. Dak Prescott had a horrible first half, but honestly, CeeDee Lamb, bro, these me first diva receivers, I get it. They want to be difference makers in the game. Shut the fuck up, bro, when you fucking pout and like cry for the ball. This is why, again, Jerry Jones is to blame. And I'm glad people are coming out and saying this right now. This man has cost his fucking team so many times to win a championship. You can go back to the fucking teams when he got rid of Jimmy. They should have won 5, my dad says. They should have. Jerry got in the damn way. Because if Jimmy was coaching in 94 against San Francisco, they're not falling behind 21-0 that game. In 94. That ain't happening. 95, they ain't playing that sloppy like they were. No way. How about freaking in 07 when they had, what was it? 13 Pro Bowlers, 11 Pro Bowlers that year? They returned. And they had Wade Phillips, good defensive coach. As a head coach, nah, he wasn't all that. First year watching football was 08. That was my first year watching. I caught early the last 4 weeks. Okay? But dude, they had that team. T.O., Marion Barber, rest in peace. Tony Romo, Jason Witten, DeMarcus Ware. Okay? They had a good team over there. And they lost. They've won how many playoff games? You ready for this? 1. And that was against the Eagles in 09. 1. Then, you keep Romo. You draft Dez Bryant. DeMarco Murray has that great year. Zach Martin, Travis Frederick they drafted in the offensive line. And how many win with that team? 1. You get rid of Romo, you get Prescott in there. You lose to Green Bay. Flunk out. Rookie Zeke looks good. 1 playoff game. 1 in that stretch. Now Leighton Vander Esch is gone. You put Parsons in. Jalen Smith was good for a little bit. What have you got? 1 with that team. Your 2 quarterbacks have 2 playoff wins in that stretch. 2 playoff wins. At some point, can you fucking focus on team culture? Why do you think Kansas City gets back there year in, year out? Buffalo gets back. The Niners get back. The great teams that know how to get back, why are they back consistently? Culture. Why do you think the Raiders have done shit since 83? And had the 3 years recruiting. Outside of that. Oh, wait. They're too addicted to superstar talent. Talent does help. Does it win games all the time, especially deep in the playoffs? Jerry, I get it. You want to win a championship. You are the stubborn person in that damn team that just needs to take a back seat. And I think they're really going to hire Bill Belichick now. Because even though they're polar opposites, Belichick would have that culture built there. And I just got this weird feeling that he's going to go out and get him. Because he knows he needs that championship. But there's a part of me that also thinks Jerry needs a coach that fits what he does because he'll do all the talking. And if he doesn't have a coach that helps him do the talking, he's not going to hire him. But I'm just so fucking done with him, bro. Like, dude, I'm not a Cowboy fan saying this. I'm trying to tell my freaking family members, like, dude, this man is addicted to superstars and fucking getting big flashy names. This is like Al Davis in the fucking NFC. Okay? And I know Jerry Jones and Al Davis were good friends. Dude, Jimmy Johnson was the guy that fucking helped you build the championship. You do realize the one you won without him was with Jimmy's team. Barry Switzer fucking coached that team. Yes, but it was Jimmy's team. Jimmy was literally about to get fucking Dion. Do you see him in the sideline in the Super Bowl? I think I'm going to say 28. Yeah, 28. Super Bowl 28. He had Dion on the sidelines because the Super Bowl was played in Atlanta. That's how much of a fucking nerd I am. And no, I don't have the glasses and the little fucking big goofy nose like the Six Flags dude. No, that's how much of a nerd I am because I remember watching the fucking footage on that shit. That's how much of a fucking history junkie I am. Jimmy would have got Dion, not Frisco. But no, Jerry's like, oh no, we're good. But because Jerry fired Jimmy, San Francisco was like, oh, we got them now. Jerry, you're the reason this team hasn't won in 30 years. Because you've hired fucking yes men coaches and you're addicted to freaking thinking, oh yeah, well, if we get this superstar, this is going to work. If we get this superstar, this is going to work. I know we can win a championship because we got the quarterback. We got everything. Jerry, you haven't won. You haven't even been to a championship game in 30 years. Get past the divisional round. Oh, wait, you can't. Because you're too stubborn. It's time, Jerry. It's time to swallow pride. Coaching matters. You go through them freaking quicker than all the bunch of other shit you go through, man. CeeDee Lamb, made first receiver. Dak Prescott just always comes up short. Oh, but they were down 23. They made it a game. Yeah, but they didn't win. They couldn't get a stop off the field when they had to. Couldn't stop the run. And Zimmer's a good defensive coordinator. He is. You just can't, for some weird reason, beat the elite teams. That's your problem. I'm rambling, but we're going to have to fucking get through this, right? And the funny part is, let's look at Prescott's numbers. 28 of 51, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't even throw a pick. CeeDee Lamb's fumble going in. What's the difference in that game? And then you want to cry about you didn't fucking get the ball. Well, they gave you the ball in the Giant game, and you won by 8. So if you're about me first, this is why, exactly the reason this team doesn't go far. They're too focused on themselves. They're not focused on what they got to do to win games. That's what happens when you get the star in your head, I guess. You're too worried about yourself, really. Turpin had a touchdown, and he's mostly a return specialist. He had a receiving touchdown. Jalen Tolbert had one. Like, dude, this fucking team drives me absolutely insane. One quarterback hit on Lamar Jackson. One. And guess who made that hit? You guessed it right, Micah Parsons. Dallas, you can beat the shit teams. You can't beat the good teams. You are losing Sunday night at Pittsburgh. You are. Because this is what this team is, and they will always be this way under Jerry Jones unless they hire a real coach. And they had Bill Parcells for a little bit, but even Bill Parcells was like, Jerry just can't help himself. I got to get out. That's why he was done. Lamar Jackson, let's go to his numbers. 12 of 15 for 182 yards and a touchdown. He played pretty damn good, man. But Derrick Henry, thank you for winning me in fantasy football, Derrick Henry. 25 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is why they got Derrick Henry. This is why. Because when a defense says, we got to watch number 8, Derrick Henry's like, you do know I'm in the same backfield, right? Run the ball. I'll run the ball. Lamar even had 14 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown, so he even ran the ball well. Okay? Bateman had the 1 touchdown that Lamar threw. Aguilar had a 56-yard play in the first half. Charlie Kohler, never heard of him. 30 fucking yard catch. Okay? Okay? Kyle Van Noy, who used to be on my team. 2 sacks. Okay? And I think they had 3 as a team. I'm reading ESPN stats because this is literally what I had. I had to do an assignment for college. So I had to use ESPN for some stuff. All right? But, dude, like, at some point, right, I am concerned with the Ravens defense, especially this game tonight against Buffalo. I am very concerned with that defense. But, dude, like, Lamar Jackson, the thing that they need to do, they need to win a game when he has to throw the football. That's what they need to do. All right? Justin Tucker's on a real cold streak right now. I don't expect that to continue either. And then Dak Prescott's calling out teammates too. All right, well, that's that. I mean, that's what you want your quarterback to do. But guess what? You can't get your team past the freaking divisional round either. So you're no exception to blame here. Ravens 4-9 on third down, really good. 7-13 Dallas, you just couldn't get that fourth down. Oh, get this. The Ravens were 3 for 3 in the red zone, but 13 fucking penalties. 13 penalties for 105 yards. You lost to a team that committed that much penalties. That stings a lot. You had 6 for 44, but the one turnover was it. And 3 or 4 in the red zone. Yeah, that's the reason, all right. Dallas Cowboys, let me tell you. You are lucky if you make even the 7th playoff spot in the NFC. I almost said West because that's how much basketball and shit I've been, used to the last summer and everything. All right. I could see we're kind of rambling off a little bit here. Monday night, we got the Bengals and the Commanders. I'm going to go through quickly, briefly, my thoughts on that, bro. Because we got to get to the 1 p.m. games because you guys are waiting on inactives and 1 p.m. games are going to start. But Jaden Daniels, dude, what a game that young man had. I mean, wow. Did I see this coming? No, I did not. Washington, let me tell you, man. Please don't butcher what you have with this kid because RG3, obviously he got hurt. He didn't want to slide. Only thing I worry about Jaden Daniels is that syndrome 2.0. Because he just won't slide. And you got to, always hold your breath because it's PTSD of RG3. All right? Their defense is a little shaky, right? But you guys, offensively, Cliff Kingsbury, the man knows what he needs to do with his quarterbacks, bro. Okay? Dan Quinn, he can get that defense fixed. I don't know if it'll be this season, but over time, I think he'll get that defense to be really, really good, man. All right? But the Commanders 2-1, hey. Kudos to you guys. You guys deserve to celebrate this win. And now you got Arizona. That's going to be a sneaky good game of the week. We'll get to that when we get to picks. Chief Bandwagons, you got bailed another call against Atlanta. And I just need to know what the fuck Atlanta's offensive coordinator was thinking because why the fuck would you call an outside zone that has not worked in that entire game? And I'm recovering still from being sick. That's why my voice doesn't sound right. Why would you run in an outside zone that never worked all game on 4th and 1? Why? You have no play action pass that works, you fucking idiots. This is why I am always Atlanta against Atlanta. I almost said Atlanta bias. Can't speak thing. All right. This is why I can't stand Atlanta. Because there's something they do that can never just add up to what they do. You telling me you don't have a 4th down play action call that for 3 to 5 yards you can get? Really? This is why Kirk Cousins sucks in primetime too. This is exactly why. Okay? The Rams, they beat an injury-prone Niner team. Again, I'm not going to go over this really too much. How about, Brock Purdy made one throw that I was like, wow. Juwan Jennings goes off. And it was without Debo. It was without Kittle. It was without CMC. And they almost beat the Rams, if not for one big play. I think it was, I'm going to have to pull it up real fast. But, the Rams are not a bad team. And they're doing this without Cooper Kupp, Nakua. Sean McVay, guys, we have to give Sean McVay a lot more love, man. Because this guy, he is so good as a head coach. He's just so damn good, man. All right? Cody Parkinson. Oh yeah, they had the PI. Yep. But I could have sworn they had that one big play that was for a touchdown. Yeah, Tutu Atwell. That's where I was mixing up. It was on the tying touchdown drive. I knew they had one. All right. Well, the Rams, dude, like, they are pretty damn good, man. They are really good. I said they weren't a bad 1-2 team. All right. Can they get their offensive line back? This team's dangerous. All right. I'm not ruling out Sean McVay and company at all. All right. All right. All right. Cowboys-Giants really, like, again, I'm going to go brief because we got to get to the week 1 picks because I know you guys want to watch the games. You guys are tired of hearing me talk. I get it, man. Okay. Trying to eat breakfast too at the same time. But the Cowboys, really, you guys look shaky against the Giants. I was on and off with this game. Daniel Jones, this man, dude, they paid him 40-something million, and this dude looks fucking average, all right? Malik Neighbors, that dude is going to be a baller. The only problem is they have no quarterback that can get him the ball. That's the only reason I didn't like that pick. However, the man's damn good, man. All right, that man is a big play dynamo. He's going to be really damn good. Problem is, you have no quarterback that you can trust to get him the ball to because DJ sucks. And the delusional Giant fans actually have been kept in check because they know he's not the guy. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But Dallas, you didn't look that impressive against the Giants. Let's be real now. All right, let's get to the picks because I got some guarantees I got to quickly make here. Saints Atlanta. All right. Derek Carr coming off a tough loss. Atlanta, again, should be really 0-3. I think Clint Kubiak isn't a bad coordinator. I don't think the Saints are bad skill set wise. So, for me, it's a hard game to pick because, again, Atlanta is in a situation where they have to win this game. You can't go to 1-3, especially with the Saints beating you. So really, you'd become down 2, right? But I just don't like the way they look, man. Like, New Orleans, at least they were in that game with the Eagles, and yeah, they didn't look good offensively. Olave's going to play. Kamara's going to play. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints. I'm going New Orleans 23-16 over Atlanta. I'm going New Orleans 23-16 over Atlanta. Rams at the Bears. Okay, Caleb Williams. Rams defense looks shaky. Wow. Actually, guys, let me just report on this big news because I'm watching the in and outs inactive lineup. Max Crosby is out. Actually, I knew this, I think, from Friday. Devontae Adams is also out, too. So just an FYI for those looking at that game. We're going to get to that game in a minute. But Rams-Bears. I don't like the way Chicago looks because I feel like they're playing a little too conservative. But I just think that the Rams, man, Cooper Kupp's going to be out the next 2 weeks. That sucks for me. I have been fantasy. If you guys remember that early episode in the year. Strahan literally just picked it as I'm watching the game. Give me the Rams to beat the Bears. I don't like Matt Eberflus as a coach. I think Sean McVay gets the job done. I'm going with the Rams to win. Might be 26. I'm going to say 26-17. The Rams beat the Bears. Vikings, Green Bay. This might be a game I'm flipping back and forth for the 1 p.m. games after I'm done recording this because I want to get this uploaded for you guys. It's going to be a little late, so forgive me, guys, but I want to make sure I get the picks out on time. Vikings, Packers. Jordan Love's back. Vikings have looked really good, but I feel like this game, I'm going to go with Green Bay to win. It's a little weird, but I'm going to go Green Bay to win. Jordan Love, his quick release can kind of offset the Brian Flores aggressive scheme. They got good receivers. They blew out Minnesota last time they played. Green Bay wins 27-23. Green Bay wins. Closer game than the experts say. I would even... Yeah. Steelers, Colts. Anthony Richardson has not looked good. The Steelers, Justin Fields having his best game. They lost in Colts last year, but I like the way Justin Fields has played. That defense is going to make Anthony Richardson's life hell. I'm going Pittsburgh. 23. The Colts, I only got 10 points. I don't think the Colts are going to score well on this team. Stop the run. That's going to be the only way they win. Broncos, Jets. 8.5. The Jets should win by a lot, but 8.5. If it was 6-7, I'd be like, okay, 8.5 feels high, man. But Denver's traveling all the way from Denver to MetLife. I like the Jets to win. I don't think Denver's defense is that good. Give me the I almost said the Broncos. Can't speak. That. The Jets, 31-14 over Denver. Denver don't do shit today. Eagles, Tampa. Pick 'em game. I don't like the way the Eagles have looked. Tampa's coming off a bad loss. I'm going with Tampa to beat them. Eagles have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith out. Tampa, bad loss at home. Tampa has owned the Eagles outside of the Week 3 game last year. So I feel like this game, I'm going to take Tampa to win. I think that, and I don't care if my buddy that's an Eagles fan is watching. He's like, oh, you just picked them too. I don't want to hear it. I'm sticking with my picks, win or lose. Okay? But I'm going Tampa here. Let's go 27-17 over the Eagles. I think the Eagles can get 2 touchdowns. Bengals, Carolina. Cincy, if you don't beat Carolina, you might as well put fire sale up, dude. Okay? Joe Burrow and company, I think they'll get it right. I think they can get 30. I don't think Andy Dalton's going to do much against his old team. 30-10 Bengals over Carolina. Jaguars, Texans. Another team. Doug Peterson, you lose this game, the odds of you being the first coach being fired are going to be going up through the roof. They haven't won a game since Thanksgiving. Texans coming off a really bad loss to Minnesota. I think the Texans get it right. I think the Texans might even score 35 on the Jaguars. That's how bad this team is. And yep, I'm going to go 35-13 over the Jaguars. I don't like what I'm seeing from them. They look atrocious. Commanders, Cardinals. Take the over. Take the over. It's going to be a shootout. All right? Kyler, Jaden Daniels. It's going to be a fun one to watch, man, if you really like this shit. I am going with, you ready? Call me crazy. I'm going with the Commanders to beat the Cardinals on the road. All right? I could see a game where it's like a 34-31 game. Shootout. Take the over. I think both teams score. 34-31 Commanders over the Cardinals. New England, San Francisco. Oh my God, dude. Nope. Don't even convince me a chance. CMC's out. Okay, Debo's back. Kittle's back. Purdy's playing. I think Trey Williams is playing. We're going to get annihilated, bro. We're going to get absolutely annihilated. I wouldn't be shocked if this team puts up like... I think they put up at least 31, and we're lucky to put up maybe a garbage time touchdown in the end. 31-13 San Francisco. Browns, Raiders. Devontae, Max Crosby are out. I'm going with... I might go with the Raiders. I don't like how Deshaun looks. Give me the Raiders, but this is going to be an under type of game. I'm going to go 17-13 over Cleveland. Chiefs, Chargers. Joe Alt's out. Of course, the Chargers are getting 7 at home. Harbaugh, just Herbert with a high ankle sprain. I don't know. I'm not banking on him playing. If he does play, I don't think he's going to play that well. Bandwagons, congratulations. You're going to win again. But you're going to win ugly. 23-13 over the Chargers. Bills, Ravens. Give me Buffalo with the points. Baltimore Ravens, secondary, dead last in the league in passing. I literally just did a college assignment for this. Josh Allen, he's going to throw on them. Kincaid might have a big day. I'm going Buffalo to at least get, I don't know if they're going to put 30 up on this defense, but I'm going to say 27. I'm going to go Baltimore 20. It's at the over. 46.5, give me the over. 27-20. Might even add that extra field goal in there, okay? So I'm going to go Buffalo to beat the Ravens 27-23. Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens. Titans, Dolphins. Tyler Huntley starting against Will Levis. Yawn. Not even watching this game. Will Levis is bad, but yeah, they beat him in Miami. I don't think the Titans do it twice in a row. Give me Miami to win. Give me Miami to win. I feel like it's going to be a weird score, too. 22-16, Miami. Seahawks, Lions. Sneaky good game. I don't like that the... Actually, the Lions are getting 3 and a hook. That ain't that bad. Seattle's number 1 defense. Jared Goff, against pressure, doesn't do well historically. But I think the Lions have to win this game. So, Seattle's playing good. But I think on the road, going to Detroit, take the over in this game, too. I think this is going to be an over. All right? Last year was an overtime, too, if you remember week 2. Give me the Lions to win. 34-28. High scoring over. All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning to Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that way you guys can get all the latest updates you guys need to know going for the season. We're going to have amazing guests coming down in October, November, even in December for playoff time. We're going to have some guests, man. You don't want to miss it this season. We got some exciting content to deliver. Also, follow me at Loungetime Pod on X. Yes, I will post Thursday night games. But also, if you have a question, you have a topic that you guys want me to talk about on the show, feel free to tweet at Loungetime Pod, man. Okay? We got a lot of stuff for you guys to look forward to today. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you guys next week on the next episode of Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoy your NFL Sunday, everybody.